guessing that this isn't your first time in Spain, but is this your first time in Malaga?
The thing is, I'm familiar with the Malaga airport.
Right.
Because I have friends that have summer houses. They're Swedish.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have summer houses in Marbella. And so I know people that have places they live in Marbella and Estepona. So we always have to fly into Malaga first. But so this is the first time actually being around the city today, and it was incredible. I had lunch, on the beach with the sun coming down in January. So it was very nice for me because coming from Stockholm, Sweden, it's very cold.
I guess so. And you said you were on a 10-day tour, right? So
10 shows in 10 days.
10 shows in
Yes.
10 days, exactly. And how is the tour going so far? Could you give us a couple of good moments from the tour that you've had?
Every moment, every night there's been something interesting that happens on stage. And that's what happens when you come in. We call these shows throw and go because it's not a tour in the sense where we have our own semis, our own nightliners. This is like our first time coming to Spain, so we're bare bones. It's the band playing on either rented equipment every night in clubs that we've never been in before. This is Casablanca's first time in Spain, and we are so happy the way that the public has accepted us and sort of taken us on as one of their own. So we're really amazed with that. As far as the technical challenges, night after night, there is there's something, Josephine, our drummer, we have a girl drummer named Josephine who just hits harder than any guy I've ever played with in any band. And there's usually like one or two opening bands. The drum set's always fine until we go on, and then she just destroys it. And these little challenges that happen when you're on your first tour in town. So hopefully next time we come back, we'll have gained more popularity and be able to bring our own equipment, our own sound technicians. But everyone's been great so far. They've been very understanding, and the crowds have been very understanding with our.
So you've had a great time, right?
This whole time, yes. And being that we're sort of in the home stretch, we've done like 9 shows in 9 days at this point. Tomorrow will be number 10, and then we fly back. It's a marathon, so you have to treat it as such. It's like running a marathon. You have to pace yourself. And right now, being that we're in the home stretch, we're going all out.
Right.
Plus, I've been doing these clinics too.
Yeah. And what are your plans, or what are the band's plans after this 10 days?
We just released the album, Riding a Black Swan. You can go on the internet. It's on Sony Gain Records. The band is called Casablanca. We have 2 albums out. It's our second album. So in the future, more touring, and we will find out what happens a little bit later in the year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Alice Cooper touring for me, and I'll just keep this this topsy-turvy ride of rock and roll. Keep it going as long as I can.
Yeah, and speaking of Alice Cooper, what's your relationship with the band?
It's great. Best boss I ever had. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a bad word to say about Alice Cooper. The organization has always been very supportive of the things that I do, and it's just, privileged to be back in the band. And it's 3 guitar players. The last couple tours that we've been doing, it's 3 guitar players. A girl named Orianthe shreds on guitar. A guy named Tawny Hendrickson jams it, and myself. So between the 3 of us, there's always interesting parts being played, and it's a challenge. Like I said, every night to play these Alice Cooper classic songs to the best of their ability, to the best of the spirit of those songs which they were written. We try to recreate that and make the experience as authentic as possible.
Right. And during the clinic today, you spoke about your top 5 rock. Yes. And you shared with us one of them.
Well, it just happened. The one about.
What we wanted to know is, what are the other 4?
Well, when you meet your heroes, for one, meeting Peter Frampton. I grew up on staring at that Frampton Comes Alive album cover, and I wanted to be that guy. And so then when you actually meet him, and he's a very nice guy. Not a, he's not a jerk. He's a cool dude. And that makes you feel so gratified. Touring with my all-time favorite band, Cheap Trick. Other than the Beatles, Cheap Trick has to come right up there because they're so influenced by the Beatles. I was able to finally tour with my childhood heroes, and we did that a couple of years ago with Alice Cooper. So, things like that.
Right. And what's your opinion on the state of rock music?
I'm hopeful that we can continue to get guitars in younger generation's hands. And the really good thing about the future of rock and roll is that for the first time that I can remember, kids are listening to what their parents listen to and thinking that it's cool. Because when I grew up, the music that my parents liked, I was like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But now, with classic rock being sort of accepted in society as a musical force and a force of music, kids look at their parents' album collections and they are influenced by them. Whereas before they might have been turned off. And hopefully what will happen is that they'll listen to them. Maybe some of them will rebel and write a whole different type of genre of music, and that'll move rock and roll forward. Rock and roll is always, it shouldn't ever be static. It should always be evolving.
Right. And
I live in Sweden, so I have the advantage of getting to hear a lot of great up-and-coming bands. So hopefully what my next role will be doing is not just playing in a band, but actually passing my knowledge on to one of these up-and-coming bands and hopefully be working with them as well. So I'll let you know when that happens.
And just to end this short interview, what advice would you give up-and-coming bands or songwriters or
I call it the
guitar
3
players?
Ps. The best advice I can give is the 3 Ps. Practice, persistence, and patience. All right, and actually 4 Ps. Promote. You got to practice. You got to be good to be on that level and be so you're prepared when you get your shot. You got to be persistent. The doors are going to always shut on your face. Keep kicking them down, and you got to be patient. All right, and nothing happens overnight. It's going to take a lot of wrong places and wrong times to be at the right place at the right time. So keep that patience there. You will get your shot, and always promote. You have all the tools at your hands. You have all the social media, this interview right now, this website. You have all the tools there at your disposal. Use them.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Thanks for
We've
talking.
enjoyed today's clinic,
Thanks for coming out.
We're hoping to see a great show tonight, and we think it's going to be great tonight.
I'm hopeful. We're 8 for 8, and wait, 8 for 8, and tonight's number 9. So let's go do it. I'm ready.
Cool. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Y
Gracias.